Hey there, fellow brothers and sisters. Welcome to Irish Drifters Podcast, where every journey has a story. I'm John and I'll be your guide through uncharted paths and unforgettable moments. Let's hit the road together. Subscribe and let's get drifting.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm thrilled you're here. And if you're new, my name is John. Guys, before we start today's story, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out in future episodes. With no further delay, let's get started. What if life was one big game? You choose your character, your journey, and every decision you make leads you to the next level. But what happens if you make the wrong decisions? What if there's no restart button? Today, guys, let's talk about life as a game where decisions count. And sometimes it's the lessons that we learn from the mistakes that make us who we are. So, let's explore how life is really like a game, where every level matters and what you do today influences what happens tomorrow. For me, it was the moment I turned 30 that I realized life wasn't just happening to me. I had to be the one in the driver's seat. I remember I had spent my 20s in a haze, working, partying, and trying to keep up with everyone's expectations. I didn't have a clear path. And to be honest, it took a while to figure out where I was headed. But when I went to university as a mature student at 31, everything changed. You could say it was a wake-up call that made me rethink how I was playing the game. And that's when I realized it was time for a change. Let's step back here. Before university, I had been living in what felt like autopilot. I went to parties, worked late hours, and drank pretty much just like everyone else to fit in. Every weekend was the same, a lip of heavy drinking, bad decisions, and tired mornings. I wasn't living. I was just existing. But when I got to the university, the reality of the situation hit me. I couldn't keep up with my studies while nursing hangovers. It definitely was a turning point. a realization that if I didn't change my ways, I wouldn't be able to succeed. That was the turning point. It wasn't just about feeling bad anymore. It was about facing the truth. It was during one of these dreaded mornings, head pounding, stomach churning, that I realised that I had to make a decision. I couldn't go on like this. It wasn't just about the feeling of bad anymore. It was about facing the fact that my lifestyle was starting to catch up with me. I thought back to the job that I wanted to work abroad and travel, and I asked myself, is this how I'm going to get there? And the answer was no. From that moment on, I knew I had to take control of my life and start making better choices. At the age of 31, guys, so I understand, it takes time for some of us. So for me, at 31, I started to reflect and understand much more clear. So I took the first step. I says, right, I'll stop drinking for the first week to see if I could do it. And I did. That week turned into 2, and then 3. I started feeling physically, mentally, but emotionally I was struggling. And I'm sure anyone at the time observing would have noticed. They would ask, why wasn't I drinking? And I would say, I'm just busy with college. I'd give any type of reason, which was real to the situation. And at times, to be honest, the peer pressure was a little bit difficult at times, but I managed to get through it. But at the same time, it felt like I was losing part of my social life. It was tough, but I knew I couldn't go back to my old ways. Then, at the age of 35, I got my job as an English teacher here in China. I started off in a training school before I moved on later to working in a primary school. It was the final challenge for me. I couldn't show up to class tired or unmotivated. I couldn't deal with the hangovers anymore, especially in front of my students. I realised that if I was going to get through this and take this seriously, I needed to be healthy, physically and mentally. That was the moment I knew for sure the party had to stop. That job was the turning point for me. It solidified my decision to stop drinking. Since then, I've learned to balance my life somewhat. It wasn't easy, but slowly I started to regain control. I cut alcohol completely. And while I struggle with junk food, I've adapted to eating healthier foods at times. I started walking, doing some running, and I drink mostly water, I can say. The transformation was gradual, but it felt like I was finally playing the game the way I wanted to. The journey isn't over, but I'm in control, living healthier and happier. Now, I'm in a place where I feel good about the choices that I've made. I'm not perfect, far from it, and I still slip up. But the difference now is I can bounce back. I've got a clearer head, a healthier body, and I'm excited to keep improving. Life is still a game, but now I feel I'm more in control of the character that I've chosen. The game continues, but now I'm equipped better to play it. So guys, is that part of the video? I want you to ask yourself, what's your game plan? What changes in your life do you want to level up? Don't wait until you hit rock bottom. Start now. Like a video game, you can always make a new decision. But the sooner you do, the better the game will be. As always guys, share your comments below. If you've enjoyed this journey with me and found the story insightful, I encourage you to subscribe, so hit the button for more content like this. And share it with someone who might need to hear this message about balance in life. Remember, the world is your garden. Get drifting. See you in the next one, guys.